Hello, this is Barbara Dean Franklin. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, I'm Heidi Herzberg, and I'm running for Deltona Mayor.
Thank you for tuning in to the Barbara Dean Franklin Show. This is B.D. Franklin speaking, and I am Barbara Dean Franklin. Today I have the awesome pleasure of sitting with Heidi Herzberg, who's running for Mayor of Deltona. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Well, great. Listen, it is so good to sit with you. I am thankful for you sitting here, taking the time out of your busy schedule to take this interview with me. So we're going to just get started by giving people a little background about you. I know there are a lot of people who know so much about you because you are a constant figure in Deltona. You've been there for a while. But for people like me who are new to the area, who don't know Heidi, let's find out a little bit about you. So,
Sounds good.
Okay, let's start off with a little background. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was born and raised up there in the Midwest.
Okay, and do you have sisters and brothers?
I have one brother, he lives down in South Florida now, and my mom.
Okay, great. And so tell me a little bit about your mom and your dad.
So just to go back, my parents are German immigrants. They came to this country in 1956. They immigrated after World War II, and they came to Milwaukee, which was a big hub for European immigrants. And so I was born there, as was my brother. And my father, my parents both came. They were sponsored by the Lutheran Church, and they had jobs when they came. And after I was born, my mom became a stay-at-home mom. My dad went out on his own, and so it's kind of have that, have your own business background and so forth.
Well, so I'm sure they're very proud of you. And they came over in the year that I was born, believe it or not,
Wow.
1956.
Yeah.
So, okay. So tell us a little bit now, Heidi, about what you're involved in and what you do.
So personally, I work as a stylist. I've had my own business in the past for 14 years, and then I decided I was going to go back to college, get out of the hair business, and then as fate would have it, met some people, went to work for them, and the rest is history. I kind of started going back to school, but I did such a great job in working with some people that I knew up here in Ormond Beach, and then I started working for an Italian company and became their U.S. liaison, went back and forth to Italy, and as fate would have it again, I've always lived in Deltona for about 35 years, and went to a commission meeting and got asked to run to be a commissioner, and that was 8 years ago.
All right, and that was going to be my question. Like, at what point did you realize, like, okay, this is it. I think I want to sit on the commission, and what, if somebody asked you, but what was your heart saying to you?
Well, what had happened was the city was going to partner with the county on a piece of property called Thornby, and really close to my house, and I would go down there every night, and you'd see the animals from the property. It was about 42 acres, and it was either going to be developed or it was going to be an eco project, a combination from the city, the county, and be turned into an all-inclusive playground. And I felt really strongly about it, and I went to my first ever commission meeting, and I spoke. And I really encouraged the commission at that point to invest in that piece of property, and I'm really glad that I did. And after that, the mayor at the time, which was Dennis Mulder, had called me the next day because, as you know, you have to give your name and address.
Right, yes.
And he said, would you like to run for commission? The commissioner in your district will be term limited out. We have 2 4-year term limits, and that was Michelle McFall-Conti. And I really kind of said no, and they said, well, just come to meetings, get involved with the city, and that's what I started doing. And so that's how I came to run.
Okay, well, that's great information. Now tell me this. So if you were a teacher, and you know, most people, like most teachers that I know, they say you start off with an A in a class, okay? So if you were a teacher, what grade would you give Deltona?
I would give Deltona a B.
A B. Okay, tell me a little bit why you would give them that.
I would give Deltona a B for, I would give them an A for effort in a lot of ways, but I would give them definitely a B for how they execute.
Okay.
And I think, you know, we're a young city, we're only 23 years old, and we were a large city, 55,000 people at incorporation. And when you inherit 55,000 people and a bedroom community with basically no business base, you have a long road to go, especially when your infrastructure has been neglected for 30 years since the Mackle brothers built the city. So it's been a trying time for the city to get a handle on infrastructure and to get a handle on a business base to diversify the tax burden. And I think it's a struggle, and when you have a new city that big and with that much of a base already there, it's very difficult to change things.
Okay.
And I think that's shown in our struggle, and that's why, you know, we have a lot of room to get up to innovate.
And next question. Okay, so what changes do you think that we need to get to that A?
I think we need several changes. The number one change that the city needs is communication. I think we lack and have always lacked since I've been a commissioner, the communication and the reach out to citizens, because again, when you start out with a city with a big population at inception, and then you go, we're almost 90,000 people, or we're over 90,000 now, it's a huge outreach. We have no sense of community. And I think once you bring people together and you communicate to them what we have and what we need, a lot of things change during that time, and it'll help you in the long run to become a more viable city.
Right. Okay. Now, one thing that I know is that a lot of times people really don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. So how do you plan to improve the communication with the Deltona?
First of all, as a commissioner and as a mayor, you have to reach consensus. You can't, we're not a strong mayor form of government, so the mayor can't just go make those decisions and say, I would like to do this.
Right.
What you have to do is basically be in sales. You basically have to sell what it is that you want to do and get consensus from the rest of the commissioners to move forward, and then direct your staff, your manager, and to do that. And my goal has been for communication many different things. Number one, I've always tried to push some sort of a phone app. Other cities have it. It's something that you can do since everyone does everything on their devices. You would be able to function a lot with the phone app. More signage, more outreach and communication through social media, improving our website, and basically improving the way we do things internally.
Okay. And what other major issues are involved in your campaign?
Well, we have the infrastructure issue. As I explained before, the city was basically neglected in terms of infrastructure for 30 years. We don't have, our roadways need improvement. Many of about 5 of our arterial roads are county roads, so we don't have control over those. However, it brings it to another level of what my campaign is about, and it's partnerships. You cannot only criticize an agency that maintains a road in your municipality without ever providing a solution and helping with outreach. You can say, I want you to do that, but if that's not on their 10-year plan to improve Providence Boulevard, for example, then we have to reach out. How do we get there? What can we do as a municipality to help further that?
Okay. So many people are upset about the lack of youth activities in Deltona. How would you create more opportunities for our youth?
Well, first thing we have to do is we have to look at the parks that we have and the youth opportunities that we have. We have quite a few parks, and what we need to do with them, you can have a park, but you have to maintain it. You have to provide upgraded things. Like right now, I was listening to somebody talk the other day, and they were saying, we really need to get some pull-up bars. These are people that are doing like the Spartan races and doing like versions of American Ninja Warrior. They have no place to do that type of physical activity. They're having to go over to the east side to even have the pull-up bars. So those are kind of things you want to, every 5 years, you should have a strategic plan, a 5, 10, 20 year, and you should assess what you have and tweak it to the trends. Right now, pickleball is a huge trend. And, you know, we did do a pickleball court at West Cryle, and we need to look at expanding that. It is something that's popular right now. In 10 years, will it be? We don't know.
I went to West Crowd a couple of weeks ago, and I walked there. And so as I walked around the track, I didn't know they had, well, I saw somebody, I guess they were playing volleyball, or you hit the ball on the wall. The football field, it seems like there's a lot of things in here. And then I got a letter, and I saw that they're doing a Zumba on Tuesdays in the center.
Yep.
So there are a lot of things that I didn't even know was there.
Which goes back to communication and
Exactly.
outreach.
Exactly. So I think you're right on point about that. Now, what are the top 3 largest financial challenges for Deltona?
I think your biggest financial challenge is that when you look at our tax-based diversification, you have 90% residential approximately, and you have about 10% business. And when you look at that, 90-10, your tax burden is based on your residents. And then when you couple that with the state of Florida's homestead, which people that move here from out of state really don't know that as a homestead at home, your tax level can only go up 3%. So even if a municipality or a county or anything raises that higher, as a homestead at home, you're capped at 3%. Now that doesn't, the 3% base is only for acceleration. It's not for deceleration. And so when Deltona was devalued during the recession, we were devalued 62% in 3 years. So that's 20, 22, and 20%. It is going to take a long, long time for a homestead home that can only go up 3% a year to reach the pre-recession levels. And when you look at that looks at what kind of income you're bringing in. So you have to have a stronger commercial base to solidify your finances that come into your general fund.
Okay. Now, if elected, you're chair, you go from vice mayor, right?
I'm a commissioner and vice mayor currently, yes.
And then your seat changes to mayor. How do you see your role changing? Not the chair, but your role.
Well, the role of a mayor in our city, the mayor is the at-large candidate or the at-large representative. So you really have the same amount of a vote. You don't have a weighted vote. Your vote doesn't mean more. What your objective is, you run a meeting. And you are, to me, this is my version, you're an ambassador for your city. The face that you put forward is the face of your city. Whether you like it or not, the assumption of the role of mayor for most people is that it's a larger feature than the rest of the commission. Again, it's the same, but you are an ambassador and you are the face of your city, and you have to have that face to be projected positive, welcoming, solid, and concise image for your city, that we are working together and that we are a wonderfully diverse city, but we're working together for the greater good, not only for Deltona, but our surrounding municipalities.
So you say ambassador, I'm saying advocate. You're advocating on behalf of the people that come and stand at that podium to talk to you about the things that are going on, and you are there to hear their voice, to make a change. Okay, and I know that they appreciate you. You've been here for a while. You're just not new to the game. You've been here for a while, and so they're counting on you to be that voice for them.
Exactly, and you know, when you run a meeting, you set the tone of how you're going to run the meeting. I go to a lot of other city meetings, and every meeting is run differently. It depends on how the chair runs the meeting. And for me personally, my way of running a meeting is to be open, is to provide answers, and if an answer can't be provided when a resident comes up, then you make sure that you have it on the agenda, that you provide that answer, and you publicly provide that answer. Because just because you're asking a question or have an issue with your yard or your neighbor or your road doesn't mean that no one else in the city has that same issue. They want to know how your problem was addressed. Was it solved? How did it happen? What was the procedure? And you know, somebody listening and watching has that same question. So, you know, to go ahead and just say, well, go talk to staff and never bring it up again, to me, is not closure to a situation. So that's what I would change.
And sometimes I think too, it's the way you feel when you walk away.
Yeah,
Did they really hear me?
Yes.
Did they listen to, you know, my concern, or did they just feed me something to send me away? You know.
Well, and I think that it's very, very difficult, and I speak from my personal experience, the story I told you initially. It is very intimidating and very, very difficult to get up and talk the first time. You walk up there and you've got a timer and you're looking at people. All those things are necessary. Other municipalities do that as well.
Right.
But it's intimidating anytime that you have to do public speaking. So the last thing that you want to be is you don't want to have the switch turned off. You don't. You want to have a welcoming face, a smiling look, and somebody that's going to be kind to you. Even if you run over time or you stumble or you lose your train of thought, you don't want to be made to feel that you were inadequate standing up there, because that is your government.
Yes. Yes.
So that's my view of how I see when people come up there. It's not easy.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions, and they're like 20-second answers. You fill in the blank.
Okay.
People would be surprised to learn I like to what in my spare time?
Gosh, clean. I like to clean in my spare time.
Okay.
It's cathartic for me.
Okay, well, great. I'm gonna give you my address and you come over and we'll do that. Okay, so from this interview, what is the one takeaway that you hope people learn about you?
The one takeaway that I hope people learn about me is that I sincerely love my city. I care about my city, and I have a home here. I've lived here for 30 years. I want people to understand that the decisions that I am part of making affect me as well. And I make them for the greater good for the entire city. And I think that I've invested in this city like a lot of other people have. And I hope that people understand that that's why I'm doing this for not this year, next year, but for 5, 10, 20, 30 years for the future of Deltona.
Right. Okay, what is your favorite color?
Purple.
Really?
That was quick and easy. Yes, it is. I love purple. Oh, and since a young child.
Wow.
Yes.
What is the best advice your father ever gave you?
Listen to both sides. Listen to both sides. Everybody has a valid point. He was very fair in that. Very, very fair.
And if you had $10 million to spend any way that you wanted to, how would you improve Deltona?
I would take $5 million for the people that need, especially the seniors and those people that have no earning capability and have a home and have no way to financially improve their structure, and are struggling and are the quiet group of people. And the other $5 million I would take, and I would work on the animal situation in the city. And I would provide free spay and neuter and medical care, and I would do those things. That's an easy.
Okay. We're gonna play I'm gonna play the Mega Million today and see if I can come
You
up
let
with
me
that.
know. I'll take $1 million. I'll split it. That's easy. I'll take anything.
I'll see if I can help you with that. Now, do you think that I've asked all the questions that you want the people to hear from you? Is there anything that you want to say to people out there? Let's put it like this. There's some young girl, some young guy, they are hoping, they have a debate class, they're doing something, they want to have a voice and they don't know how to do it. Speak to them and just encourage somebody about not giving up.
Don't ever underestimate yourself. You have strength that you don't know you have. And life a lot of times leads you in a path that you may not have thought you were going to go down. Life is full of opportunities, and sometimes an opportunity comes in front of you. It's how you choose to take it. My whole entire life has been like that. And sometimes the things that you really want to do, maybe you can't do them, maybe physically you can't do them, maybe financially you can't do them, but there's always another door that's going to open, and you just have to be open-minded and embrace whatever comes, and never, ever, ever underestimate the power that you have within yourself.
Well, I thank you for that information. So, we have a 30-minute interview, and 30 minutes is never going to be enough time. We could probably sit up and talk about the things that are going wrong and how we want to improve them. But I truly want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because being new to Deltona, being able to sit here with you is truly a blessing for me. So, again, I thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to have this interview with me. I'm hoping that on November the 6th, the people go out and they use their right to vote, and they vote the right choice. Look at everybody and make a great decision so we can move this city forward. Because I plan to be here, 30 or 40 years. I said already how old I was, so I'm not gonna. So I plan to be around for a while. I love the city of Deltona. Coming from Detroit, it's a very big city, so it's really different for me, but it's really been a blessing that God placed me here in this place. So again, I thank you, and if there's anything that I can do, you definitely, you let me know. And I'm going to end my show, as I always do, saying to the people who watch it, I hope I brought something to you that you can use. And from my beating heart to your beating heart, I love you, you understand? So